What's up, guys? Just hit level 60 in New World, and I wanted to give you a review from the perspective of someone that came into this game as a complete noob. I didn't play any of the alphas, and I played very little of the beta because I intentionally wanted to be fresh for the game's launch, and I wanted to have it be a mystery and be a fun learning experience, and it really was. I had a lot of fun with my guild. There were a bunch of us playing together in Discord, so information did get spread around pretty quickly. But for the most part, all of us really came into this game fresh, and I gotta say that was really cool. So this is gonna be my review of New World. First thing, is the game worth $40? Absolutely. Even if you think you're gonna hate this game, this is gonna sound crazy. Even if you think you're gonna hate the game, I still think it's worth $40 because there are some things this game does. Especially if you're a fan of MMOs, if you're a big MMORPG fan, you just gotta buy this game, dude. Like you just gotta suck it up and buy it and check it out because there are some things this game does that nobody else has even come close to. The art, the performance, it just like the little things you don't really think about, like the vaulting and the proning and crawling, like that stuff just works. Nobody's talking about like, man, it's so cool you can vault and climb and crouch and prone. That is really cool, by the way. It's so fucking cool that you don't even realize how cool it is because it just works so well. This is going to be one of those things where you're not going to notice how much you really love the fact that you can jump up and grab that ledge and pull yourself up until you play another MMO that doesn't have that, and you're like, oh man, I really hate that I can't do that in this game. There's so many things like that with New World that, oh, man, it's you're just not gonna appreciate it until you go back to playing a game that doesn't have that. So, man, I don't even know where to start. So, my expectations for this game. Now, so part of the reason I came into this game so fresh is because when I heard they were pivoting from a PvP game to a PvE game in a year and a half, pretty much everybody that knows anything about MMO development pretty much was just like, that's retarded. They're never going to be able to pull that off. And they would be right. In any other situation, they would be right other than Amazon Game Studios. Because what Amazon Game Studios did is they took like 3 entire development teams from their other failed games and threw them on New World. They threw an ungodly sum of money and resources at this game that the MMO genre has never seen before. The turnaround they did in a year and a half is incredible. Like nobody else could have done this. Nobody else could have done this. It's not fair at all to anybody having to compete with this game. I've said it before. I feel horrible for anybody else trying to make MMOs because Amazon does not have to play by the same rules as anybody else. Why? Because Amazon doesn't care if this game makes money. If this game can convert a small amount of new people to buy Amazon Prime, that's all Amazon cares about. These vertically integrated companies play the game at such a different level and it's not fair. It's like Amazon Video. Like, they don't care if they lose money on that. They'll throw $1 billion at it. Who cares? Make some fun shows. If 0.01% of people buy Amazon Prime to watch whatever, that superhero show that's dope, that's all they care about. It's just these vertically integrated companies. It's different game entirely. So sorry, ran over on that. So what does the Amazon do? What does this game do that's just incredible that nobody else is doing? The art, dude. The art in this game, the models, the cities, dude. When you walk into Ebonscale, like just when you get to Ebonscale Reach, dude, what? You're climbing up the mountains, and oh man, it's so good. The biomes are good. I really can't wait to see some more like snow maps and like a desert. If you actually, people were speculating that this over here might be desert. This little, they kind of cock teased us a little bit here with some of these, how you can still see the map without it, it's fading out. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But the biomes, really well done. You got swamps, you got, happy, joyful places like this. Like, dude. And I keep in mind, guys, I was going to put some 4K footage over this. I play in potato settings. But if you look at like 4K YouTube footage or something, it's nuts. I mean, I play in potato and I get, really high frame rates. The art is incredible. It truly is. It's optimized. You look at that. I mean, look, this dude's cutting down trees. The trees are falling. You got a fucking turkey there. Go Hokies. Dude, it's sick. I mean, the art... I really want to know how many artists and like back-end software engineers worked on this game, because it's nuts. It's nuts. It's like they told the artists, like, hey man, you know, make a house, but you have as much time as you want to. Fuck it. And that's what they did. Like, the art is on a completely different level, especially when you go to like some of these zones, like Ebon Scale. I love this. This zone is so good. Cutlass Keys I really enjoyed. Windsward, First Light. If I had to pick my favorite, it would probably be Ebon Scale. It's got a completely different vibe. I'm not much for like the Asian theme stuff in games. Like, I really don't like the whole waifu simulators, or like Mists of Pandaria was the worst WoW expansion. One of the worst. Well, it wasn't the worst, but you know, up until that point, it was the worst. But like, dude, Ebon Scale is sick. Like, fuck, it's so good. So the art is incredible, and why the art is so. Now it gets on to my next point, dude. The game runs well. Like, you got all this shit that looks amazing, and it runs well. Like, that is the craziest part. The amount of people I have seen on screen in this game for the game to look as good as it does is crazy. I cannot believe this game runs as well as it does. Most MMOs just blow up when you got like 20 people on screen, much less the, you know, we had like 100-man battles in the beta. They do some really intelligent LOD, levels of detail, scaling, and, you know, really cool stuff. I watched a technical video where they, like, you know, the back sides of these houses aren't being rendered when you're not looking at them. They do a lot of really cool stuff, apparently, with this game. And the models themselves, I assume, are just hyper optimized. You know, sometimes you'll see it where you'll run up to like a bear and he just looks like, you know, an N64 bear randomly, where the LOD, the level of detail optimization stuff, doesn't quite hit it just right. But for the most part, the game just looks good and runs good, and it works. Like, it's one of those things where you don't appreciate it until you've played other games that just don't do it as well. So, absolutely, this is, as crazy as it sounds, it's probably the best looking MMO I've ever played, and the most performant MMO I've ever played. That combination, like, yes, there might be games that are more performant, but they don't look like this. And keep in mind, guys, potato, dude, I'm playing this game in like low to medium settings. Like, I don't care about fucking graphics, but damn, I kind of appreciate it at the same time. So, yeah. So we talked about the vaulting, you know, the vaulting, the climbing, like, there's so many things in this game that you're not going to really appreciate until you go back to another game. The quest design is terrible. I mean, it's not that it's bad. So here's the thing. Pretty much every quest in the game is kill stuff or pick up stuff. But if you think about it, that's kind of every quest in almost every other MMO. Most of the times when you're doing deferred quests, it's usually like some cheesy vehicle, or you're doing something kind of dumb. So that personally didn't bother me. However, I would like to see more show, don't tell quests. WoW started doing this, where the story quests were, you know, you would be helping a guy, and then the story was explained to you and shown to you. You didn't have to read texts like that was like voice acted. I would love to see more future stuff like that. I'm sure Amazon will do that, but this was probably one of the casualties of the game being made in like a year and a half when it was an open world PvP game. So, yeah, I would like to see more of that, but personally, the questing didn't bother me for this primary reason, and that is that I play this game in a constant state of ADHD. Part of the reason I didn't hit level 60, you know, part of the reason I was so slow hitting level 60 is because I would fish and mine, and like, let me open up my trade skills right now. As you can see, you know, I got, you know, all my harvesting. I got 138 logging, 156 mining, 28 fishing, harvesting, skinning, 200 skinning, 177 harvesting. 177 harvesting I'm pretty proud of. But, you know, I messed around with Arcana and cooking and furnishing. You know, I messed around and dabbled. I did some PvP. You'll see right here, this is going to be my flex. So I just hit level 60. And let me bring up my character. Dude, I just hit 60. Look at this gear. I have all of the faction gear. How do I have all of the faction gear right when I hit 60? It's because I got it all ahead of time, because I was PvPing, doing faction quests, doing the PvP quests. I didn't rush to get to 60. And that's part of the reason I think the quest design is a little bit forgivable. Also, the environments are so good that you just like naturally want to explore and naturally want to like go pick up that flower and hit that rock. And if you do just rush and only do quests, yeah, you're probably going to get a little bit burned out. But if you play the game like I did and how I recommend you play, which is, just do whatever. Check out fishing, check out cooking, check out, mine that rock, pick up that flower, explore behind that cave, get that chest. Like, that's how I played the game, and that's how I recommend you play the game. And this is another thing that this game does really well. You're not punished for playing the way you want to play. In this game, you can truly level however you want to. Yes, some methods will be faster than others, but you're not wasting your time leveling in an inefficient way. For example, if you want to spend a lot of time fishing and mining, and that's the way you're going to get a lot of your XP, you're not wasting your time, because all of that stuff, all of those lower level resources are useful. It's ironically, a lot of the people that rushed to level 60 are going back and doing low level stuff because that stuff is useful. So you really can fish to level 60 and not feel bad about it if you wanted to do that. But again, I would recommend just dabble, go check this out, go check that out, do some PvP, do a dungeon. That's what I did, and I had a lot of fun leveling. This game gives me some serious RuneScape vibes in the absolute best way. And I think people are going to naturally set their own goals, and, I'm going to work on, skinning, or I'm going to do this or that. So I think they've really hit something there. And I think this game is definitely going to get non-MMO players interested in playing it. I could definitely see, for example, my girlfriend playing this game, because you've got, different things to do besides like progression rating. I would love to see, more harder PvE content being introduced to the game. And when it comes to in-game in general and updates, I am pretty confident, based off of Bezos himself was talking about how it feels good to finally have a game do well. This is Amazon's first game they've made that hasn't sucked an entire bag of dicks. This is their first one. And Bezos himself on Instagram was talking about how much this meant to him and how it feels good to finally have a hit. So I think they're not going to let this one go. Like, they got nothing else going on, quite frankly. This is the only thing they got going on. They got a $500 million a year budget for Amazon Game Studios, and this is their only game anybody gives a fuck about. So I don't think they're going to squander it. So I think the update cadence for this game will be pretty aggressive, at least for the first year, at least to establish that user base. I would be pretty shocked if they just put us on ice for months and months and months without some serious updates. So, yeah, pretty excited for the future. I think this game is definitely going to appeal to non-MMO players, first-time MMO players. They definitely have something here. From a technical perspective alone, I think they got something. Everything else could be ass. Everything else could be terrible. But just the world, the art, and the performance, the back-end stuff is incredible. It really is. I cannot say how good from a technical perspective this game truly is. I mean, I've got pretty old hardware. I'm 1080 Ti. Whatever processor was good around the time of 1080. I can't even remember what processor I have. And the game runs like a dream. 1440p. Shit, dude. I really cannot say how important that is. The bones of the game are phenomenal. So, I've been jerking off the game for the last however long this video is. Let's talk about the things that suck. There absolutely are some things that suck, and there absolutely are some serious concerns with this game. The number one thing that absolutely just sucks an entire bag of dicks is the story, dude. The story, I could not care about the story. It's zombies, corrupted zombies. It's lame as fuck, dude. I tried to care. I really did. Like, I really tried to care, but I couldn't. Dude, I couldn't. Maybe there's some lore videos on YouTube I could watch that summarize it, but, like, the quests, fuck, dude, it's bad. Like, I could not care less. I don't know. Again, they need more, like, show, don't tell quests. But honestly, dude, I think their whole story premise is just so, like, the zombie corruption shit. Like, it's lame, dude. It's so lame. Don't play this game for the story. Nobody does. That's the least interesting part about this game. I couldn't tell you what's going on other than yeah, corrupted zombie things. Fuck. So that's bad. Number 2, I'm a little worried about open world PvP being not incentivized enough. As you level, it's incentivized. You get 10% more experience. I was flagged a good bit of the time I was leveling. I unflagged some. You get more weapon experience, but again, those are very short-term things. Eventually, everyone's going to have that stuff. I would personally, I would love to see your luck stat be increased when you're PvP flagged. I think just something as small as that would probably be enough to incentivize people to flag just out in the world randomly. But in terms of the actual PvP combat, like fighting other players is fun. Like it's satisfying when you hit people with some combos, and the teamwork aspect is pretty good. The balance is obviously going to be bad. Yeah. Like, I'm not expecting that to be good right off the bat. Right now, you have a few weapons that are really dominating. The Life Staff is incredibly good. The Great Axe, the Hatchet, the Ice Gauntlet. Those are, like, the S God tier weapons right now. Everything else is definitely behind those, in my opinion. In my experience of the game thus far, Life Staff is the number 1 most powerful thing in the game. From a PvP perspective, well, yeah. Everything. It's just the best. The Life Staff is just the shit. Ice Gauntlet DPS is just insane. Great Axe DPS is insane. The Hatchet, mobility, and the CC immunity is pretty good. I think every weapon has a place, but I think there's probably some nerfing that needs to happen up there at the top. But again, dude, the game just came out. It just came out. Let's let the players see if they can find workarounds, and maybe the meta will change it. Maybe this is a Smash Bros. Melee situation where, Jigglypuff was F tier until it literally became the best character in the game because somebody did something different. So who knows? Who knows? It's early, but I'm not expecting that to be good either. PvE progression. Is there going to be enough to keep people interested in long term? Again, to talk about earlier, I do think that Amazon's update cadence will be pretty aggressive. So I do think they're not going to put us on ice too long when it comes to content. But I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a ton of dungeons. Doesn't look like there's a ton of PvP options. But I'm just so fucking confident that they're not going to put this game on ice for a long period of time. Again, because the man himself was talking about how important it was to him. So New World, dude. I can't recommend it enough. I came into this game with incredibly low expectations because, quite frankly, nobody else could have pulled this shit off except Amazon with their bukus of fucking cash. That's really all that happened here. I really, I'd love to say that the money wasn't why this game was able to turn around in a year and a half, but they did. No other company could have been like, yeah, dude, we got a PvP MMO. We're gonna make an entire PvE MMO in a year and a half. No, dude. I mean, even though they had all the money, there is something to say that they still managed to, throw all that and pull it together in a year and a half. I don't know. I'm impressed. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed, and I think that so far things been going pretty well. So. Maybe I've given the Zyback curse to this game. I've had some of you conspiracy. Zyback don't like New World. Don't you fucking dare play this game. You'll kill it. So we'll see. We'll see if the Zyback curse is real. But I'm pretty impressed with the game thus far, and I highly recommend you at least check it out. It is definitely worth $40. I mean, it's $40 buy to play. By the way, I didn't even talk about the fact there's not even a sub fee, dude. There's not. I mean, I'd pay a sub fee for it. I would. So, they haven't done anything predatory with the monetization yet. Who knows? Maybe they'll pull maybe they'll start going crazy pay to win. To be honest, I don't think they will. Why? Because, dude, they don't need to make money. This game is in such a unique situation with it being made by Amazon, this vertically integrated company that just throws away billions of dollars every year for the pure sake of market share and getting people in the Amazon ecosystem. This game could lose them hundreds of millions of dollars every year, but if it gets more people in the Amazon ecosystem, that's all they care about. It's all they care about. That's it. So nobody else has to play by the same rules. It's really unfair. I feel so bad for anybody having to compete with this game directly. So yeah, That's what it is, fellas. The era of vertically integrated companies making MMOs is maybe upon us. Who knows? But yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of New World? Are you enjoying it? Do you hate it? Let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.